Complete the pattern.
Today, we have to complete this pattern. Have you ever seen shapes or numbers grouped like this before? If we want to solve our math quest, we'll first need to explore how patterns work so we can predict what happens next. What do you notice about the shapes shown here? I noticed the same two shapes keep showing up. It reminds me of something I've seen before where shapes or numbers repeat or show up over and over. Check out the first example with me in your guided notes. We see a circle, then a diamond. Then we see a circle, and a diamond. Wait, were those the same shapes? In the same order? Yes, they are. They repeated. All that's left in this set is a circle, and a blank space. What do you think should go in the blank space? Since the set of shapes is repeating, we would complete the pattern by following the same order of shapes. So, we started with a circle and then another circle. That means the next shape should be a diamond. Yes, great work. This is an example of a repeating pattern. Patterns always follow a rule, and when it's a repeating pattern, the same set of shapes or numbers repeats over and over again. We can assign each shape a letter to keep track of the pattern and figure out the rule. In the first example, we saw 2 circles and 1 diamond. The circle comes first, so each circle will be labeled A. The diamond comes next, so we will label that B. The rule for this repeating pattern is A, B when we put it together. Let's look at the next one. Square, triangle, pentagon. Square, triangle, pentagon. Square, triangle. What comes next? First, we write the rule for the pattern. The square will be A, the triangle will be B, and the pentagon will be C. If we put it together, what's the rule? Yeah, the rule for this pattern is A, B, B, C. Now, what are the 2 missing shapes? Following the rule, we've seen A, B, so the missing shapes are B and C. So the following 2 shapes need to be a triangle and a pentagon. Nice job. Ooh, I'm feeling good about this. Let's check it out with our math quest. Can we complete this pattern? Let's write a rule for the math quest like we did with the repeating patterns. Wait, in the repeating patterns we just worked with, it was always the same number of each shape that repeated. But in the math quest, one of the shapes has more and more each time. Is this another type of pattern we can try? What's this? We have a clue to help us out. Let's read it. Some patterns repeat piece by piece. Others grow bigger. It's quite the feat. Well, we've worked with patterns that repeat already. Let's see what these patterns are that grow bigger. Follow along with me in your guided notes. We have 2 more examples here to help us figure this out. What do you notice about the shapes in this pattern? Exactly. They're all the same shape, but they're put together in groups. The first group has 2 circles. The next group has 4 circles. Then there are 6 circles. What do you think goes in the remaining 2 spots in this pattern? Do the numbers 2, 4, 6 seem like something we've done before? Yeah, in each column, 2 more circles are added each time. The rule for this pattern would be to add 2 circles each time. Skip count by 2s with me to finish this pattern. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The final 2 spots in this pattern should have 8 circles and 10 circles. Good work on this. This is an example of a growing pattern. A growing pattern is a pattern of shapes or numbers in which the amount of an object grows or gets larger from step to step. Something seems different about this one. What do you see? That's it. This one has 2 different shapes in it. Let's follow along. I see 1 triangle, 1 square, 1 triangle, 2 squares, 1 triangle, 3 squares, 1 triangle, and then 3 blanks? Is there anything similar to our last pattern? True, the amount of squares is getting bigger. What about the triangles? Yeah, they stay the same. So how could we describe this with a rule? We know it's 1 triangle and then we're adding 1 to the squares. 1 triangle, add 1 square. Great! Let's go back to the beginning of this pattern and finish it off. 1 triangle, 1 square. 1 triangle, 2 squares. 1 triangle, 3 squares. 1 triangle, 4 squares. 1 triangle, 5 squares. Thank you for your help. Do you think our math quest could be a growing pattern? First, let's try to write a rule for the pattern. Follow along with me. We have 5 stars, 1 square, 10 stars, 1 square, 15 stars, and 3 blanks. What is happening to the stars and squares in the pattern? Well, the squares stay the same from step to step, but the stars are growing. It is a growing pattern. How much do the stars grow by in each step? That's right. They're growing by 5 each time. Let's finish this pattern. We have 5 stars, 1 square, 10 stars, 1 square, 15 stars. What comes next? That's it. Next is 1 square because the squares stay the same. What about the stars in the next blank? Yes, the stars grow by 5s, so we'll add 5 to the amount of stars. We can skip count by 5s this time to get the answer. 5, 10, 15, 20. The next blank would be 20 stars. Finally, we're back to squares, and it's just 1 square again. I think we've got it. Write our final answer on your math quest while I input the answer. Yes, we figured out the pattern. And we finished level 3.
Let's go!
Excellent work today. We started out with repeating patterns where a set of shapes repeated or showed up over and over. Then we learned about growing patterns where some of the shapes grew or the amount increased from step to step. Remember, every problem has a solution, and we've got the skills to solve it. See you next time.